Hey guys, it's Caitlin. Oh my goodness, long time no see. I'm so sorry I haven't been filming for the past month or two. I started university and I've just been really busy. Nevertheless, we are back today with quite a hefty book haul. I just went shopping last weekend with my mom, my grandma, and my boyfriend, and we did some damage. And then I've also collected a couple other books throughout the month, so I just thought I'd ease back into YouTube with just a little cozy book haul. I'm in like the worst reading slump of my life, and I feel like that has to do with being like busy from university and not being able to have time to read now, but we got some new books for motivation, so we're just going to go through them. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what I know about them, and we're just going to have a cozy little night together. So let's get started. Okay, so we have, I believe, 8 books to go through. I'm going to start with the ones I got earlier in the month, and then I'll get on to the books that I got when I was on vacation with my mom, my grandma, and my boyfriend. So let's just hop in. I'm excited. I haven't been in front of a camera in so long. Okay, so contrary to me saying all these books were bought this month, I actually have one that was bought last month, but like at the end of the month, and that is While We Were Young by K.L. Walter. This is the same author as The Summer of Broken Rules, which I loved that book. I ate it up. Just everything about that book was just perfect to me. And look how pretty this one is. Look at those sprayed edges. I actually have a couple books in this haul that are sprayed edges. Anyways, this book says basically love moves pretty fast while we're young. Grace, Issa, and Everett used to be an inseparable trio before their love lives became a tangled mess. For starters, Grace is secretly in love with Everett, who used to go out with Issa before breaking her heart in the infamous freshman year fracture. And oh yeah, no one knows that Issa has been hanging out with James, Grace's brother, and if Grace finds out, it could ruin their friendship. With graduation fast approaching, Grace decides a senior skip day in Philadelphia might be just what they need to fix things. All she has to do is convince Issa to help her kidnap Everett and outmaneuver James, who's certain his sister is up to something. In an epic day that includes racing up the rocky steps, taste testing Philly's finest cheesesteaks, and even crashing a wedding, their secrets are bound to collide, but can their hearts withstand the wreckage? Okay, so after reading that, it kind of does sound a little bit like a Ferris Bueller's Days Off situation, but it talked about graduation, and I don't know, it's still giving me like fall vibes, so I thought to pick this up. I don't know if I'll read it anytime soon, but nevertheless, I love the author, so I picked it up, and I can't wait to read it. Okay, so the second book that I picked up was only 2 weeks ago, I believe. I had just spent the day at a coffee shop doing tons of assignments for school, and I decided to treat myself by going to a cute little bookstore. And the book I chose to pick up is The Zodiac Academy by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. I don't know if I'm saying that right. This has been all over my For You page. Some of my favorite staple booktube book talkers like Emily Rossum and Larry Reeds absolutely love this series. I've seen their videos, so I decided I would finally pick it up. This is a really hefty series. I think there's like over 10 books in this series, and if I'm being honest, I don't know what it's about. I don't know what this is about, but if from what I've gathered from the back, it's like this Zodiac Academy is a school, and like this girl's going to it. It says there's vampires, there's cardinal magic. It has to do all with like astrology. And there's a dragon shifter who has his eye on the throne. I don't even know. And then at the bottom, I love it. It says, "Damn it, why couldn't I have gotten a letter to Hogwarts?" Which I think is iconic. I just saw that. I didn't see that when I read it last. So once again, I don't know if I'm going to get to this book soon, but I just felt like I needed to get it as like my first step of motivation to start reading it. So if you guys want to see like a reading vlog of this series, just let me know and I'll start it as soon as you'd like. My phone fell. I think the camera is a little bit more down now, but the next 6 books are all books that I got this weekend. I went to visit my grandma with my mom and my boyfriend this weekend, and Books A Million was close to where we were staying, and so we went to Books A Million, and actually my boyfriend bought me 4 out of these 6 books, and he's just so sweet and I love him so much. But we're gonna start with the ones I got from Walmart, and then we'll go into the Books A Million ones. Alright, so both books I got from Walmart are thriller books. I feel like I'm kind of entering like my gothic like a little bit of dystopian fall thriller kind of era right now, which makes sense because it is fall. So the first book I got was The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. This book is becoming a movie on Netflix, and I had heard about it, and everyone's been like raving about it on TikTok recently. So I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to pick this up, and I think this is going to be one of my next reads. What I've gathered from the Netflix trailer and from the back is that this journalist is coming to go on this like yacht, or I don't even know if it's a yacht or if it's a cruise ship or what it is. And she's, yeah, a famous journalist. It's a kind of like a charity event. You get to stay on the yacht for 3 days or something, and so they're inviting her to talk about her experience and kind of like promote it. However, when she is going to bed, I think the first night, she sees the woman in cabin 10 next to her die. She falls in, she goes overboard, and she dies. Except everyone's accounted for. They're like, there was no one in cabin 10. Like, you're crazy. And she doesn't know who to believe. I think it's like a kind of like rich, higher class kind of controlling them on the boat kind of situation. I don't know. If that sounds confusing, just go watch the trailer. But it looks really good. The back of the book sounds amazing, and I definitely want to read the book before I watch the movie. And I know my mother will want to watch the movie the second it comes out. So I need to get this read. Essentially, I think it's 340 pages, so it's not bad. But that is the first book I got from Walmart. The third book we're reviewing. This is a new angle. I know. My camera has fallen the past 3 times. Apparently I'm not supposed to talk about this next book. But the next book that I picked up from Walmart is The Party by Natasha Preston. The cover, can we talk about the cover? It's absolutely gorgeous. This is the author of many other popular books like The Lake, The Fear. I think those are the 2 I've heard from her. But this is also a thriller. It says, "Are you invited?" In the heart of the English countryside, Bessie and her closest friends gather at a remote castle for a secret party destined to make this the ultimate spring break. But when the first of them dies, the party takes a lethal turn. As the body count continues to rise, Bessie and her friends must contend with a deadly storm and trust issues brewing among the group, all while trapped inside with a killer. Set against the backdrop of a sprawling English estate, Natasha Preston's latest thriller will keep you on the edge of your seat until the party's over. It sounds really good. I don't like the name Bessie. That's kind of a weird thing for me. Like, I can't read books if I don't like the main character's name, but we'll get past it because this book sounds really good. I've never read a Natasha Preston book before, and I want to see what all the hype is about. And with that, we are on to the 4 Books A Million books that my boyfriend gifted me. If you are watching this, thank you so much. We're gonna get right into it. So the first book is one I'm really excited about. I'm excited about all of these, but that is Spectacular, a Caraval holiday novella by Stephanie Gerber. Oh my goodness, can we talk about how gorgeous? This is like one of the prettiest books I own. Like, look at that. If you didn't know, the Caraval series is a trilogy. It's basically based on these 2 sisters, Scarlett and Tella, or like Donatella Tella. Basically, they get a letter in the mail saying they've been accepted to Caraval, which is something they've wanted to go to for a while. It's like you go in this house and you have to win in order to get like one wish from this guy named Legend. Some stuff happens. I can't really spoil it. There's love interests. They go through a lot of stuff. And this is the novella. I'm pretty sure it's kind of like the aftermath. They're happy, they're content, they're with their mans, and it's a Christmas book. And I'm really, really excited because if you didn't know, I absolutely love Christmas. Look at the gorgeous illustration. It says illustrated by Rosie Fowinkel, I think. And like there's literal like pictures throughout the novel. Like, look at that. It's gorgeous. And who doesn't love a Christmas book, let alone a Christmas book with characters from one of their favorite books series of all time. So, very, very happy about this. Once again, thank you to my boyfriend for getting me this. The second book from Books A Million that I was gifted, whatever you want to call it, is actually one of my many, many current reads because I'm in the worst reading slump of the year, I swear. That is The Short Second Life of Bree Tanner by Stephanie Myers. This is a Twilight book. I have never read the Twilight series. I'm also reading the Twilight series for the first time right now. I love Live and Breathe the movies. I watch them at least like once a month, and currently starting with Twilight. But since I know the whole story, I've seen the movies, I'm also starting this one. So if you didn't know, in the movie Eclipse, there is a young vampire as part of Natasha's kind of army, Natasha and Riley's army, and her name is Bree Tanner. She's the one who, spoiler alert, I'll give you a second. Okay, she's the one in the movie that they end up killing, the young girl that the Cullens try and save. So this book is all about her short life, being reborn into Riley's army, surviving it, and then I assume it will ultimately lead up to her death. So I didn't even know this book existed, and I saw it on TikTok, and I knew it was one of the books I had to pick up. It's pretty short. It kind of like reminds me of like a novella almost, but the cover is gorgeous, and I can't wait to get insight on Riley's army because we don't really see anyone's point of view except for Bella, Edwards, and obviously the Cullens. And the man I do not like, Jacob, but we don't really get to see anyone else's, so I'm kind of curious about how like the whole army thing came about and how it actually went down. So that is the second book. If I'm being quite honest, I really don't know what the next book is about, but I've seen it really getting popular on TikTok, on Book Talk, so I picked it up as well, and that is Burn Bright by Krista and Becca Ritchie. Tell me, once again, this isn't one of the prettiest books that you have ever seen. It is gorgeous. I'm just gonna read you the back because I really don't get it. I think it's like a hockey romance, but then there's also like this, like the four brothers in it are really close and have like a big part of it too. I don't know. It says, how long have you been the son? Ben Colbolt is number 6, not 6th placed. In fact, he'd be considered at least 3rd draft pick for the NHL if he didn't quit hockey during college. And he's not 6th in line for any throne, though most consider his larger-than-life billionaire family American royalty. He is the 6th born Cobalt. Out of a normal family of 7, he might get lost in the shuffle, but being the black sheep of the Cobalt Empire comes with its own intense spotlight. After he hits a major low at college in Philly, his 4 older brothers convince him to move in with them in New York City. Transferring to Manhattan Valley University, piece of cake. Living in an apartment with all of his brothers, while harboring a giant secret among a tight-knit family who's closer than a secret society, total effing chaos. He has to find a way out of the tense living arrangement, especially as he clashes with his oldest brother, Charlie. Ben turns to an unlikely source for help, a grumpy punk rock girl with a troubled past who's already pissed off one Cobalt brother. So when an undeniable attraction ignites, Harriet Fisher is expecting the flames to die out, except what happens when they don't. Falling for a Cobalt brother with secrets might be a Shakespearean tragedy she can't rewind. Sounds pretty good to me. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds really good to me. Everyone's been loving it on TikTok, and it's the most gorgeous book ever, so it sold me, so you should go read it too. Okay, so the very last book in this video is also a thriller and also a book I'm in the middle of right now, and that is Love Mom by, I don't know how to say if it's Ileana Alexander, correct me if I'm wrong. This book is a thriller that also has gorgeous sprayed edges. Look at those. So this book is basically about our main character. Her name is Mackenzie Casper. She is in university and she has a best-selling author mother who writes thriller books that are super gory and graphic and disturbing. Her mother dies and she is part of this like really messed up family that no one really knows the truth about. She's not sad her mother died. She's just kind of like indifferent about it. Her mom was like absolutely loved and adored by her fans. So she is at kind of like a celebration of life for her mom, decides to leave, goes to get in her car and sees this letter in her car. And she's like, first, how did someone get in here? My doors were locked. So she assumes it's just someone's fan mail, like weird stuff that used to get sent to the mom as she was a thriller author. And she opens it and it says, from your #1 fan, XOXO. And it's basically a letter supposedly written by her mom about her past life, which she never talked about, and kind of like her story instead of writing other stories. And she thinks it's really weird. She's like, this isn't right. She has a friend named EJ, I believe. And it's basically like, it says, inside are pages from her mother's diary that start with the lines, want to know a secret? Love, Mom. I've heard everyone on TikTok saying this is a 5-star read for them, and I've really never heard anything about the book before, but I picked it up because it's really good so far. I'm on like page 50 on my Kindle and I'm loving it. That is the end of the book haul. I think one of the really fun things about like 80% of the books I got, they're just surfacing TikTok as like popular, but they're not like books people have been absolutely like obsessed, like the staples, like Throne of Glass, don't get me wrong, that's my favorite series too, but like Throne of Glass or Iron Flame or any of those books, they're kind of like books that don't get talked about a lot, and I've kind of been trying to venture out into just not buying super popular TikTok books and trying other books as well. That being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I can't wait to be back. I have been reading less as like I've said 100 times in this video, I am in the biggest reading slump of my life, and also because I started university, and managing university and a social life and a reading life is not easy. That being said, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I think I might do a little bit of university vlogs if you guys want to see them and incorporate reading here and there throughout the channel, but I'll just let you guys know a bit later. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!